Let's go to the pom.xml, add a dependencies section and add a dependency. Let's add Picocli version number, which is the latest one. So let's externalize this version by using a property. Right click, refactor, and property. And say Picocli version. So this is what we needed for this course. So let's save it. And we will add the Maven dependencies as we need it. So let's go to the Maven and re-import all the libraries. It is download all the dependency libraries. Go to the app. Let's create a hello command. Okay, class hello command. Create with command, and which is coming from the command Picocli command line command. Let's click on it. So once it comes, IntelliJ automatically imports the dependent classes as well. So, and if we see it has a name, aliases, subcommands, all of these several properties are there. If we see it, we will be covering most of the commands, not all of them. Let's go with the simple name. Name, hello. And Picocli uses each command as a thread. So let's create either you can extend the thread or interface, which is a runnable or callable as well. For this case, let's use runnable implements runnable. And it is showing that we have to implement it. Let's implement the methods, which is a run method. Let's write a small command saying this hello world, and I expand this one. In order to call this hello command, so let me correct it. It's a hello command. Now to use it, we need to use the command line. New command line. Inside the command line, we have to create hello command as well. New hello command. We have created the hello command, and we need to pass in execute and arguments which we would like to use. That's it. Existing whatever the commands that are coming from our main. Let's save the file and run the main method one more time. It's building and it has done. It printed hello world. So let's change this one hello world. Let's use a small command here. So say hello. Save it and run the main method. We'll see it has come from the hello command. It's a basic hello command which we created. Let's improve the hello command by taking one argument user. And along with that, we'll print the help as well. So in order to take the input, first what we need is we need a user, so string user, and annotate user property with option, which is coming from Picocli command line option. And here is the list of arguments that it takes, or the parameters that we need to pass. For now, we'll go with names. And here we need to give an array. So let's say -u, either I take it as -u or I'll take as hyphen user. Both the ways the user property can be set. So here let's modify our logic. Let's take simple one. If user is null or user.length equals to 0, which is empty, and we are going to print hello world. Else we'll print hello user. Our program is completed now to take the parameter u. So here let's change the arguments which we are passing. So here we're calling the hello command directly, so we don't need to pass the hello here, but instead we can pass the all the values as we like. So in our case, create only one user is equals to my name Ranga. Let's say Ranga, and save the file and rerun the main method by clicking on the play button. Has come with my name. If I have not passed any of the parameters, which is empty, save it, run it from the play button here. So it has printed saying this one hello. User index 0. Unmatched argument because we passed it and there are no arguments. That's why it has come as. And because we have given empty string, so that's the reason it's expecting some arguments to be passed and it cannot parse the arguments. Instead of it, simply remove it and run it. Now you will get hello world. So again, let's revert the code or retype it hyphen user is equals to let's try with -u and same. Save the file and run the main method. Again, I got it as hello Ranga. This is very basic use case by taking the arguments. And Picocli library ensures that all the arguments which are passing to the command are parsed and properly stored at our defined instance variables. Let's create help command for this one. Either we need help or not. That means if we provide help command -help or -h, then I would like to show it. So we don't need a string variable over there. Let's create a boolean help and annotate with option and say names. In our case, -h or -help. Both the cases I need this one. And we need to say this one as usage help. So that means we are saying this one use these two properties -h help -h or -help commands are the arguments to print help. So let's save it and let's try by using -h. Save the files, rerun the main method. And Picocli ensures that it gives all the properties that are required. Picocli prints the entire help command by taking the arguments that we defined and it's put in a standard output. So in this case, usage and hello is the command and the optional parameters. -h and for -u, it takes the input. That's the reason it put user. But in case of the help, As it is a Boolean variable, we don't need to capture. If it's been provided, we take it as true, else it is false. We can make much more simplified. Let's remove the help command because Picocli by default provides the help command. Picocli library by default creates -h and -help options as a default because every command requires it. And along with that, it ensures that version is also being added. So let's create a version here. Version is equals to, let's say, 1.0.0. And in order to print the version, we need to capture it. That instead of we capture it as a Boolean variable, let's use the standard Picocli help and versions. So let's remove this one and add mixing standard help options. Say true. Save the file and run the main method. If we see it, the standard version has been printed. That means it has both help and the version. These are the standard. Let's modify a few more options over here. Let's say if we want to mandate user property, it's a required field. So needs to say required is equals to true. And can I see this one at our help? No, you can't see it because by default it uses a space for the required fields. Let's change that property. So the required option maker by default is a simple space. Let's create it as a star. Save it. And the main method. Now you'll observe the user as a star. We're denoting -ur -user as a required field. What happens if I don't provide it? Let's say null. So when we rerun it, we got missing required option, which is -user. So it is expecting user is been provided or either help or the version. Let's enhance a bit about our help. Right now I'm making required as false. Let's provide a little bit of description about our help command. So let's write in a new line. There is a property called description. Let's write. This is a simple help command. And at the same time, provide the description for our option as well. Provide user name. Let's use to print help. So let's provide -h option and rerun the application. Now if we see it, we got a very, the commands has a little bit of description which is having, this is a simple hello command, and even for the user option, we got to provide username, which we have provided as part of the description. We don't need to see the label as a user, so we can change the param label. Let's say username and run the main method. Now we got it as here, the param label, it is coming username. So here earlier we got user as the same as option. We change it to the username. For example, you can provide the default value, the param label as username. I'm giving the space this time so we can see the difference. So we got the space difference here and here also. And let's improve the hello command a little more by providing header. The header as, say, sample command. Let's give the and rerun the application. And if we see it, the header has printed at the top of the usage. You need to understand we don't have the control where exactly we need to print this header unless we use the advanced options. For now, we are not using any of the advanced options. So the description comes after usage and the simple command, which is a header that comes at the top. Can I add a label for these options? Yes, even for the options we can add. So let's say options list heading. By default, it's empty. So in our case, let's add options are. Let's rerun the application. And if you see it, it's been a little bit out aligned. That's because it uses exactly whatever you have provided for the options heading. So we need to give a new line separator. So let's provide /n as printed as we expect. But Picocli library suggests to use instead of the /n %n because internally Picocli library interprets %n as a new line separator. So let's use as per the library. Rerun the application, it should print exactly the same. I have added a colon for the better. I'm adding one more new line at starting and rerun the application. Now it looks very nice. Our help command has printed and usage along with the description. Now the options has been completely separate. So we can see the options very nicely. This is the basic usage of the Picocli library. I have reformatted the code for the better readability. So let's rerun the application as we expected. It's supposed to print help. So it's building it and it's running the application. And it printed our help command. Let's go here and modify. The program arguments we can pass. So in our case, let's pass as our username, say apply, but don't run it because here we hard coded the -h. Let's change it. Let's take from the main method. So now let's run the configuration by clicking on here. So now it's building it and it will be running the program as done and it is provided as we expected. It's printed hello you Ranga. So every time do we need to change it? Yes, because the program takes all the arguments. Command line requires arguments or options. So is there any better way to do it? Yes, we have several ways and which will be covered later. Before that, let's refactor our piece of code to go to a new class. So let's select all of them and cut it, go to the project and create a new package. Go to the new, create a package, let's say comments. And here, paste it. IntelliJ automatically identifies the paste one. What we pasted, it's a class, so it creates a class. Let's say public class. So our app will be used. So let's re-import all of the. So click on here. Here it says that one. So let's import the hello command by importing the class. And here also let's import the command line. So all the errors has been gone and save all the files and rerun the application. And it has a configuration which has -user Ranga. So it has to print hello Ranga. It has printed as hello Ranga. So now let's copy this main method also because you can directly launch the main method and this command from itself. as it's a public class. So paste it here. So I'm using the same command line and hello command. So let's run it. So now we are not passing any of the arguments here. So we will get hello world. Yes, because we are running directly from here. So let's run with parameters. By the run configuration and provide -user is equals to Ranga. And run it. When you run it, it's been passing -user Ranga. So here we will be getting hello Ranga. Are we going to cover all the Picocli library? No. We are going to cover most common use cases like taking the input and multiple inputs, multiple commands, required parameters. Let's use Picocli library to create a to-do application which manages adding a to-do, modifying to-do, completing the to-do, and deleting the to-do. All we do from the to-do command and its basic usage.